Sarah Cox, 2000 till 03.
Wow, we're back tomorrow from 7. It's been lovely. Nice one.
I don't wanna rock, DJ, but you're making me feel so nice. When's it gonna stop, DJ? 'Cause you're keeping me up all night.
We're live from Ibiza. How the devil are ya?
The Radio 1 Breakfast Show. Sarah Cox.
Sarah, you got the breakfast show from Zoe. Was that awkward or was that natural?
There was a bit of pressure because she was my mate, you know, but definitely there were, you know, they were big, high, sexy shoes to fill.
Will you welcome, please, Miss Sarah Cox?
Where is your audience, young lady? Morning.
I've been out with Zoe a lot during her breakfast days, and I kind of knew the sort of ins and outs of what time you should try to get to bed if you get to bed at all.
I love how you say what time you should try get.
Yeah, you should try and at least have half an hour before you do a live radio show.
A good 30 minutes is always good.
Top tip. And so I was out. I was married to a club DJ, so I was going to like really good clubs, going mental all weekend, and then be back to work on a Monday morning.
Here we are, Coxie. She has had a spectacular amount of sleep, 20 minutes in 48 hours.
You know, I get asked, like, oh, have you changed since those days? And I'm like, of course I've changed. It'd be really bad.
Yeah, I'm sober.
If no, yeah, I'm now sober. It'd be really bad if I was still falling out of clubs at God knows o'clock. Like, physically, I started to look like bits of me were going to start dropping off. I had, like, rashes, like skin rashes starting. Kind of like, because obviously it just doesn't agree with your body. It's just not good for you to do that.
OK, so you're doing the breakfast show on Radio 1. It's the early 2000s, as I like to call them. Robbie Williams is hugely popular.
Yeah.
Massive, massive star. Everybody loves him. Girls wanted to go out with him, boys wanted to hang out with him.
And go out with him.
Well, yeah, there was that. And he wants you to interview him. That's what I remember.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was brilliant.
Did you go on a plane with him?
Yes. Yes, I did. It was like a private jet, like a 7-seater. So it had all these dancers on and choreographers and all these management. And I remember just being part of this, like, completely mad circus. And that was one of the points where you just think, you know, breakfast is a wicked job, because here I am on a plane flying to Germany from Amsterdam with Robbie and his crew, and it's just the sort of moments that you just never really forget.
I want to talk to you about getting into trouble whilst being on the radio, which is something that I'm so far not experienced.
Yeah, you sure of it?
Yeah, but you've had some nice moments on the breakfast show.
I've had, well, funnily enough, I've had moments that still get quoted at me now, that at the time I had absolutely no idea I was in any kind of trouble.
100 years old and, according to her family, still full of vigour, vitality and enjoyment of life.
I said that, bless her, that the Queen Mum smelt of wee. And, you know, I said it, and I remember being really surprised that there was a problem with it, because in my little tiny head, I kind of thought, I meant it quite fondly, like, oh, bless her, she's, like, getting on a bit. And I kind of meant it really cutely, and it was just so off the cuff, like, in quite an innocent way. And then I remember that was a show that we did in Ibiza, and I'm like, great, let's go and party in Ibiza. And one of the bosses being like, it's kind of what you said about the Queen Mum. We're going to make sure you've got security when you land at Heathrow, just in case. There were a lot of paparazzi there, and there were a lot of people who want to speak to you. So basically, for me just saying some off-the-cuff comment that I couldn't even remember, I was being warned that, like, my security was being beefed up because I was going to be so packed and so shouted at, and such outrage in the media.
And all of this because you're playing records and talking in the morning.
Yeah. And then there's been moments where, like, I knew that it was going to kick off, and that was Sacha Baron Cohen came on in character as Ali G.
You know me love ya truly. From England to England. You turn me on with your big Babylon.
Respect, big up yourselves wherever it is from.
But first, of course, we must chat. Ali G and Shaggy are live in the studio.
I asked him some question, and his answer, he basically spelt out mother.
You can say it. It speaks to you. You can say it.
So he spelt out mother. So he went, yeah, M-O-T-H-E-R, fucker. And I just looked at him, and my eyes just, and like, and I just went, oh, and just kind of like played a record, and all hell broke loose. It was live. He'd done it on purpose because he got loads of press, but instead of him being, you know, the victim of all the outrage, it was Daily Mail hammering my door down because he'd said it on my show, and I was horrified.
So if you have got any children listening, obviously we really do apologise. It's not big or clever to say swear words like that. Taxi!
Since then, I mean, there's so many rules and regulations now with being on the radio, and now I'm much more confident that if something does happen,
yeah,
you know what to do.
So after almost 4 years at The Breakfast Show, you decided to move on, and...
I'd got offered my first big role in Hollywood.
Brilliant.
And I thought, you know what, I'm going to leave this little... No, I got fired.
Well...
To be replaced by you. And to be honest, the phone call saying that I was being fired from The Breakfast Show was probably up there with some of the best phone calls I've had, because I was so relieved. It had been going so wrong for so long. I mean, by the end, it was terrible, and my heart wasn't in it. I had no confidence in it at all. I mean, I had the best time on it, but it was definitely time to go.
I guess that brings us up to date. But I still wanted to make one final stop, back at the original home of Radio 1 in the West End, where one of those original Radio 1 DJs is still hard at work. It's Mr. Tony Blackburn.
That's Alicia Keys there, and Empire State of New York, all about, believe it or not, New York.
Hey! Hello, great mate. Hugh, thanks for doing this.
Pleasure.
Well, let's have a little chat.
Yeah, sure.
About Radio 1.
Just for fun. Music too much.
This is Tony Blackburn saying have lots of fun. Be good.
Tony, 1967, Radio 1 starts. They get you from the pirate stations, plonk you on The Breakfast Show. How many listeners? What was it like? You were proper famous.
The first programme I did when I opened up Radio 1, listen to this, Chris. Oh, 21 million.
See, that's mental. 21 million people listened.
21 million people listened, yes. Yeah. The day after, 2. No, it was between 20 and... We sort of wavered between 20 and 21 every show.
I don't get much sleep because I like to have a social life. But I love the show. I love doing the show every day. Did you absolutely adore it? Because you all sounded like you just had so much fun.
Well, for the last 46 years, I've been most of the time doing breakfast shows, and I absolutely adore it. I love getting up. You see, I'm like you. I do like getting up in the morning. And I just can't wait to get on the air. I love it. Absolutely love breakfast shows. There's something special about breakfast shows.
What is it about it? What's so magical?
It's the excitement of going in there, being first in. It's the thought in your mind, getting people out of bed, and it's the most important show of any radio station. I mean, it's just a lovely way of making a living.
Yeah. I found this from the BBC Gramophone department.
Gramophone, isn't it lovely?
It's record library.
Yeah, record library,
as I would call it. This is, I don't know if you recognise this, Tony. This is a copy of The Move, Flowers in the Rain, the first song ever played on Radio 1.
Yes.
We've got a studio, we've got the record, we've got Tony Blackburn.
Yeah.
Can we recreate that magical moment from the first ever Radio 1 breakfast show?
I would like to recreate that magical moment.
10 seconds to go before Radio 1, Tony Blackburn. Stand by for switching. 5, 4, 3. Radio 2, Radio 1, go.
Just for fun.
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to the exciting new sound of Radio 1. And what do you know, Chris Moyles will be doing it all over again on Monday.
Woke up one morning, half asleep, with all my blankets in a heap, and yellow roses scattered all around. The time was still approaching, for I couldn't stand it anymore. So there we go.
Tony's right, of course. Chris will be on at breakfast, as usual, at 6:30 in the morning. Radio 1 Night continues in a moment here on BBC 2, but there's trouble on the air and blood on the carpet.